Okay guys, this is going to be quite a lengthy video because it's such an important video. Now, I've got information from a couple of judges in South Africa who are very concerned about the way the law is being delivered. And top of the list of concern, and I've just been sitting on this for a while, but it's time now to break the news to the world, is a fellow by the name of, his full name is Yahya John Mandlakayise Hlophe, born the 1st of January 1959 in Stanger, KwaZulu-Natal. He is the Judge President of the Western Cape Division of the High Court of South Africa. Hlophe is controversial for the number and range of allegations of improper conduct as Judge President that critics allege have damaged the credibility of the court. And this is what when I talk about the judicial system in South Africa being corrupt, Hlophe in many ways epitomizes the situation, but unfortunately he's not the only one. This is quite common amongst the top judiciary in South Africa. But let's have a look at some information here about this corrupt judge. First of all, Philippe wrote to me and he said, "Hi Scott, firstly evidence gets lifted and disappears from the court. Then a fire destroys the remaining evidence. Judge involved who got beaten up by his chief judge, Justice Hlophe, who has a little family business with his wife. Both the Chief Justice and his High Court judge wife are under investigation for malfeasance. Good luck with that one. Another fire? The good Chief Justice is a guy who called an advocate in the presence of another, a white piece of shit who should go back to Holland. A judge's behavior must be exemplary and not give rise to criticism." Okay, now I'm just going to read you first of all the controversies related to this guy and why he shouldn't be a judge, and let alone the Chief Justice in the Western Cape. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, let me just get that up. Okay, now these are just some of the controversies associated with this Chief High Court judge in the Western Cape. In a 2004 case between Health Minister Mantu Shabalala Msimang and elements of the pharmaceutical industry, Hlophe was accused of unreasonably delaying his judgment on leave of appeal. In an unprecedented step, the unsuccessful party in the matter had been forced by Hlophe's failure to either grant or refuse leave to appeal, and had applied directly to the Supreme Court of Appeal for leave to appeal. Having been informed that the application would be made directly to the Supreme Court of Appeal, he refused leave of appeal days before the Supreme Court of Appeal considered the matter. His ruling was summarily overturned by the Supreme Court of Appeal in a judgment that was harshly critical of him. Hlophe was reported to have said with regard to the ruling that he couldn't care less. A complaint about his conduct was laid with the Judicial Service Commission. In 2004, Hlophe wrote a report to Chief Justice Pius Langa alleging racism at the Cape Bar. He also accused his Deputy Judge President Jeanette Traverso of racism. In the aftermath of this controversy as to the authorship of a majority judgment in the name of Judge N.J. Yakiso in the same matter that had attracted the Supreme Court of Appeal's censure, Hlophe accused certain white judges and leading members of the Cape Bar of racism in a 43-page report submitted to the Minister of Justice in November 2004. In 2005, Hlophe was reported to have said that he allocated an Afrikaans language rights case to senior Cape High Court Judge Wilfred Thring because I knew he would fuck up the trial and then it would be set right to appeal. He was reported to have repeated this in front of numerous witnesses, including senior advocate Norman Arranza, senior counsel, who wrote to Chief Justice Pius Langa about the incident. Denying he had made the remark, Hlophe claimed there was a smear campaign against him. Also in 2005, Hlophe was reported to have called a Cape Town attorney, Joshua Hlophe, a piece of white shit who is not fit to walk in the corridors of the High Court. He also suggested that Hlophe should go back to Holland. Hlophe is not Dutch. Hlophe denied making the remarks. In June 2006, the JSC was asked to investigate complaints that Hlophe's son received a bursary from a large Cape Town firm of attorneys, Smith Tabata Buchanan Boys, or STBB. Derek Willey, former STB partner and a university friend of Hlophe, said the payments had come from a bursary scheme to help disadvantaged students. Hlophe had appointed Willey to the bench as an acting judge on a number of occasions. Reported to the JSC for a possible conflict of interest, he claimed he did not know who was paying for his son's education. The JSC accepted his word. That's how corrupt this judicial system is. In early 2006, it was reported that Hlophe had, without the necessary ministerial consent, taken a remunerated position on the board of Oasis, an asset management company. It was subsequently reported that Hlophe had, whilst on the Oasis payroll, considered a matter involving one of his colleagues, Judge Siraj Desai, and given Oasis permission to sue him. In July 2006, Justice Minister Brigitte Mabangla permitted Hlophe 4 months' leave of absence. In November 2007, Hlophe was reported to have written to the Department of Justice demanding that his official motor vehicle, a 3-year-old Mercedes, be upgraded to a Porsche Cayenne. He argued that his position as judge president warranted this upgrade. When contacted by a member of the press, Hlophe is reported to have asked, "What has this got to do with you? My purchase of a vehicle has absolutely nothing to do with you." It is reported that when reminded that the car would be purchased using taxpayers' money, he stated it would never ever be approved. It nonetheless was. On 10th of March 2008, Judge Hlophe, in a Cape High Court ruling, ordered the eviction of approximately 20,000 shack dwellers residing in Hlophe in Langa to make way for the controversial N2 Gateway housing project. The ruling was subsequently criticised by residents themselves, the Western Cape anti-eviction campaign, and well-known legal and constitutional court experts such as Pierre de Vos. In August 2008, Hlophe residents took their appeal to the Constitutional Court, which criticised the ruling by Hlophe. Court Justice Cato Regan stated that it's one of the things that really bothers me. I couldn't imagine an order for eviction that didn't set out where and how the respondents would be accommodated. In March 2008, the Constitutional Court Justices Bess Nkabindi and Chris Jafta stated that Hlophe had personally tried to convince them to give judgments in favour of the then South African President Jacob Zuma on 2 cases that implicated Zuma of corrupt activities. It was reported that 10 years after the incidences, no action had been taken against Hlophe despite the serious nature of the accusations. On the 30th of July 2009, Judge Hlophe was served summons by US law professor Winston Nagin. Nagin was demanding 6 million rand in damages from Hlophe, who he said insulted and defamed him. When Professor Nagin's right to sue Judge Hlophe was upheld by the Western Cape High Court, Paul Ngubeni, a long-standing friend and supporter of Judge Hlophe, was outraged. "It's horrifying. It's outrageous. Here you have a foreigner who comes out of the United States, a country where there is absolute prohibition against suing judges for their judgment," exclaimed Paul Ngubeni, who, like Professor Nagin, was born in South Africa and subsequently became a permanent resident of the United States. Paul Ngubeni also seems to be unaware that Judge Hlophe was not being sued for a judgment, but for derogatory statements allegedly made regarding the work habits and ethics of Professor Nagin. On the 15th of January 2020, Western Cape Deputy Judge President Patricia Goliath lodged a complaint with the Judicial Services Commission, or JSC, alleging a wide range of serious incidents of misconduct by Hlophe. These included allegations of attempting to influence judicial appointments, assaulting fellow judges, sexual impropriety, and creating a climate of hostility and fear in the chambers. One such notable incident was in the 2017 Hlophe Africa judgment, where Hlophe is accused of acting in a biased manner so as to protect the then South African President Jacob Zuma. The case was involving a controversial deal to procure nuclear power plants from Russia. In response to the incident, the General Counsel of the Bar urged Hlophe and his wife to request special leave pending deliberations into the complaint. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. I mean, you can see this guy's a bad egg, okay? But Hlophe became the subject of allegations of misconduct on a number of matters during 2005 and 2006, which were referred for investigation by the Judicial Services Commission, or JSC. The JSC considered the following 4 complaints, just a few of the complaints. Firstly, that Hlophe had accepted payments from the Oasis Group without statutorily required ministerial consent. Second, that he had improperly granted permission while in receipt of such payments for Oasis to sue Judge Desai for defamation. Thirdly, that he had subjected a legal practitioner to a racist insult. And finally, that he had made disparaging remarks to counsel about a fellow judge to whom the judge president had allocated a contentious case. In October 2007, in a divided vote, the Commission decided by an undisclosed majority that there was insufficient evidence to proceed with a public inquiry into the allegations. The decision was the subject of controversy and was criticized by, amongst others, former Constitutional and Appeal Court Judge Johan Kriegler, whose criticism was published in the Sunday Times, a widely read, nationally circulated newspaper. On the 9th of October 2007, 9 senior members of the Cape Bar Council wrote to the Cape Town-based Cape Times newspaper in support of former Constitutional Appeals Court Judge Johan Kriegler's comments at the weekend that Hlophe was unfit for the bench. 9 senior members of the Cape Bar Council. Now, why are we talking about this at this stage? Because Hlophe is again involved in an incident which is very, very strange. This is on the 26th of February. This is let's see, this article came out earlier today, and it came out in the Daily Maverick. And it reads as follows. The fire at the offices of Parker Khan Inc. in Lansdowne, Cape Town, during the early hours of the morning of Tuesday the 25th of February, destroyed what could be vital evidence in the controversial matter police are investigating. This is a strike-off application by the Legal Practice Council of 2 attorneys and the law firm linked to Judge Mushtaq Parker. Now a mysterious fire has destroyed the documents. Case number 22707/19, from the time it was lodged by the Legal Practice Council, or LPC, with the Cape High Court on the 25th of January 2020, has been at the center of a series of inexplicable and baffling twists and turns. Firstly, the voluminous papers in the application by the LPC for Abdurrahman Khan and Irfan Parker of Parker & Khan Incorporated to be prevented from practicing as attorneys pending an application to strike the names from the roll of legal practitioners went missing from room 1 at the Cape High Court. The 2 attorneys are accused of misappropriating 8 million rand from the firm's trust account. The firm was co-founded by Western Cape High Court Judge Mushtaq Parker, who left it after becoming a judge in 2017. Numerous attempts by Daily Maverick to communicate with the registrar of the Western Cape High Court, Rowan David, with regard to whether public documents might be present, have been met with complete, utter and total silence. Over and above this, the matter, which was due to be heard on the 21st of February 2020, was unusually not placed on the court roll for that week and was secretly postponed to a later date in April. Adding spice is the fact that Hlophe, brother of Mushtaq Parker, in his responding affidavit in the LPC matter, has fingered his brother, claiming Mushtaq was aware of the shortfall before his appointment to the bench in 2017. WhatsApps between the Parker brothers and Khan attached to the affidavit set this out clearly. Mushtaq Parker did not declare to the JSC panel during his interview for the bench that a firm he has founded has been implicated in the alleged misappropriation of clients' funds. Had he done so, it is unlikely he would be on the bench. Had he not made it to the lofty heights of the judiciary, he also might not have been assaulted, allegedly, by his own judge-president, John Hlophe, in his chambers. This is according to an affidavit by Deputy Judge President Patricia Goliath to the Judicial Services Commission. The complaint has been heard by the Judicial Conduct Committee. Goliath has accused Hlophe of several counts of gross misconduct. Daily Maverick has confirmed from 2 independent sources that Parker has recanted the allegation that he was assaulted by Hlophe and has tried to retrieve an affidavit he has made about the assault from another judge who has taken it for safekeeping. Emails to Judge Parker, as well as the judge who kept the affidavit, have not been responded to. Hello Silence, our old friend. Even curiouser is the Legal Practice Council's own response to Daily Maverick when informed that the papers, in a serious case in which they are the litigants and which implicates a judge in malfeasance, had gone missing. We suggest, as these are public documents and the LPC is the applicant, that they forward the papers to Daily Maverick in the public interest. The LPC is a statutory body established in terms of Section 4 of the Legal Practice Act, number 28 of 2014. On its website, it says it regulates the affairs of and exercises jurisdiction over all legal practitioners, attorneys and advocates and candidate legal practitioners. A reply from the National Office simply stated that it was not aware the papers were missing and that it preferred that we ask the registrar. We did mention that we had done so several times, but were ghosted. It is not clear why the LPC is so shy with public documents. We told the LPC that we were absolutely 100% certain that the documents had gone walkabout, but this seemed to have no effect. The LPC itself will have to think about its role with regards to codes of conduct and regulation and its duty to inform the JSC that it was investigating Parker and Khan Inc. and that a judge had been implicated, but we leave that one there for now. The LPC told Daily Maverick it did not believe it appropriate to comment further on the matter at this juncture, as the matter is presently before the court. Parker was outed as Hlophe's alleged victim in an analysis of the matter by Franny Rabkin, published in the Mail and Guardian on the 14th of February. Goliath in her complaint did not name Parker. Parker has not publicly denied Rabkin's outing. The LPC application for the strike-off will be heard in a court in which Hlophe will decide the judge. We leave that one there for now too. Responding to Rabkin's question, Judiciary spokesperson Nati Nkubi said it was the prerogative of Hlophe JP to make a decision whether to appoint a judge from another division or not. In view of the fact that Judge Parker is not cited in the pending application, there is no apparent basis in law for him to do so. Commenting on the assault charge, Nkubi said that those were before the Judicial Conduct Committee, or JCC, and we would like to respect the JCC process by allowing them the space to do their work. We too would like to be allowed the space and courtesy of a reply from public officials in order to do our work of holding the powerful and the unelected to account. Daily Maverick sent a list of follow-up questions to Nkubi a while back. The silence has been overwhelming. While the file in the Parker and Khan matter might be missing, there are copies with copious bank accounts, fee ledgers and WhatsApp attached. The fire at Parker and Khan's offices might have destroyed further evidence, but enough exists. In the soap opera world of the Western Cape High Court, everyone makes copies of everything, and you never know when they might surface. That is why it is best for everyone, especially judges, to make friends with the truth. Just because we can't see it right now doesn't mean it doesn't exist. All the world's major religions know that. Now, this Chief Justice Hlophe in the Western Cape, he epitomizes the corrupt nature of the judiciary in South Africa, right from the very top all the way down, because of, once again, black economic empowerment and black privilege. It's screwing up South Africa right across the board, even in the justice system. All right, guys, I know this has been a long video, but I think it's been an important one, because this Hlophe guy, he needs to go. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe.